Shalom. In the Talmud, we have a very famous statement, Kol Yisrael Aravim Ze Lazeh. All of Israel is responsible for one another. And it is this core thing that has made our Jewish people and community survive throughout the ages, is this sense of responsibility and connection as a people. Throughout this COVID-19 pandemic, we have lived that reality as a Jewish community. Our community has stepped up with calls to people, with being concerned, with thinking about how to offer thoughtful online programming. And now we are at a new phase in the pandemic, the phase of the Delta variant, which many of us know is as highly contagious as chickenpox, even among those of us who are vaccinated. And so the question that Judaism is really concerned with is, as a holy community, how do we take care of each other as well as ourselves? On January 1st of this year, 2021, the Committee of Jewish Law and Standards of the Conservative Movement analyzed Jewish sources and accepted a teshuvah, or a rabbinic ruling on our responsibility to each other related to this pandemic. And last February, we studied the sources on this teshuvah during a lunch and learn. And there's 4 points of this ruling that I'd like to share with you today. First, taking preventative measures against the spread of COVID-19, such as wearing masks, frequently washing hands, and physically distancing, are mitzvot and mandated by the halakha, by Jewish law. This ruling is based on sources and teachings that affirm health, life, and our responsibility to one another. The second part of the ruling was, we reiterate that Jewish law obligates Jews to vaccinate themselves and others in their care with medical guidance, with vaccines that have a proven and safe track record. Now, we understand that this is a controversial issue, because while there has been thorough testing of the COVID vaccine, time will tell as to its long-term effects. The third point of the ruling, COVID-19 vaccines approved by government health agencies under emergency processes are considered to be refuot bedukot, established treatments. With proper medical guidance, Jews are obligated to be vaccinated against COVID-19. What the rabbis on the Committee of Jewish Law and Standards have done here is to look at previous sources, especially some of the teachings around the spread of smallpox in the 19th century, and said that because we're in an emergency time, sha'at hadachak, the testing that the COVID-19 vaccine has undergone, even if limited, qualifies it as a refuah bedukah, an established treatment. The fourth piece is that Jewish institutions are permitted by halakha to require their employees, students, and congregants to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Here is a text from an email that I received from Hoag Hospital this morning. At Hoag, more than 95% of people with COVID-19 who require hospitalization are unvaccinated individuals. This is partly why we are seeing relatively young and otherwise healthy people coming in very sick. People ages 18 to 24 are still the most vaccine hesitant group in the country. We speak from direct experience when we say that the dangerous misconceptions and misinformation driving vaccine hesitancy have grave implications on those who don't get vaccinated, as well as for their family and communities. While most do recover fully from the virus, 10% experience illness so severe that they require hospitalization. Virtually every patient we have seen who did not get vaccinated and ended up in the hospital regrets their decision not to be vaccinated. Some of them have missed weddings, travel, time with loved ones, and work. We continue to encourage unvaccinated community members to get the vaccine as soon as possible to protect themselves and their loved ones. Yes, breakthrough cases are occurring in which vaccinated individuals are developing COVID-19. However, in those cases, The vaccine has helped reduce the severity and duration of the illness. The vaccine works. So I ask the question again, but with an addition. As a holy community, how do we take care of each other as well as ourselves in a way that affirms personal choice and acknowledges that regardless of the science behind it, the vaccine is still a strong medicine that affects our body, and not everyone is ready to take it? I want to suggest that we take a page out of California law on teachers and schools that require all employees to be vaccinated. And if anyone chooses not to get vaccinated, to take a weekly COVID test. This is a policy that allows the individual to have choice regarding the vaccine, but also is thoughtful about protecting the people they interact with. And of course, all teachers and students are required to be masked indoors because with the Delta variant, we know that the disease can spread. This is the policy that we at Temple Beth El of South Orange County are taking with our employees to make sure that people we come in contact with are protected. If you are choosing not to be vaccinated and you interact with others beyond your home and family, please make it a part of your routine to get weekly COVID tests. There are many places where they are free. And even if you are vaccinated, please wear a mask indoors in public places so that you don't unknowingly spread the virus to people who are vulnerable or to children. Regarding the High Holy Days, our COVID task force and leadership have engaged in many conversations. On one hand, the safest route would be to stay at home and have everything online, and many synagogues are making that choice. But we are aware that for some of our congregation, being in person is necessary to make this experience meaningful and renewing. And unfortunately, this pandemic is not going away anytime soon, so we need to make choices that embrace our spiritual health as well as our physical. So we are having in-person services that will be streamed online so that you can enjoy them at the temple or in the comfort of your own home. We require everyone except the leaders on the bima to be masked while you are in the building. We will have laminated social distance cards that can be spread out among the seats so that you may have distance from others if you choose. And of course, hand sanitizer will be readily available. This includes programming for our young people, which will be in person and masked. We will not be requiring proof of vaccination to attend services during the High Holy Days. Unfortunately, this virus can spread with whether we are vaccinated or not. So masks and social distancing becomes the best way that we can keep each other safe. However, if you are not vaccinated, we highly recommend that you stay home and enjoy being with the community virtually. There is not just the Delta variant with COVID, there are many other variants that the vaccine still does protect against and that you won't be a transmitter for. When you lose people close to you, well, I just need to say first, this past month, I lost a dear friend to COVID who was not vaccinated. And losing somebody close to you, and when you know the exact cause of death, this reality hits home more than statistics or numbers. We're aware that our choices and policies may not make everybody happy. You may disagree with our choices and perspectives in good Jewish fashion, but I hope that you will hear that the intention of our COVID task force and our leadership is a caring and loving one, even if it doesn't meet everybody's needs. Shana Tova. I look forward to sharing a very meaningful and deep and high holy days together.